Have you ever had a narcissist in your life? In a way that no matter what they do, they can never be wrong. If you come from a place, especially if you're black and you come from the hood, but it doesn't have a color on it, so everybody can answer this question. So don't think like, oh, she talking to black people. No, I'm talking to everybody, period. But black people in the culture in the hood know what I'm talking about, because when you come from the hood and when you come from that area, you can't come out sane and intelligent. You're called whitewashed. You know those people in your life? I know a lot of people have one where if they did something to you and you say something later, it's still your fault. You said my mom, my mother, definitely understand. Yes, unfortunately, a lot of you understand that, right? Whether it's a baby daddy, whether it's a family member, whether it's a family member that did you dirty, whether it's a mother, a father, they could never admit to that. No, it's your fault. And if you start to tell them what they did wrong, they will always point it back to you. Because now you can't be telling on them. You can't say anything about them. It's the same thing with the Diddy parties. Let's take it back to the elite for a second. They'll never say what they did wrong. They're going to point the finger. Well, they did this. They did that. I left at 1 a.m. I didn't do this. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't say anything. Years later, usually if the person walks away with some type of sanity or some type of intelligence, if they're not whitewashed because they come from the black culture, do y'all know how black people are the most racist? Let's just be real about this. Black people have the most issues. Let's talk about it. Black on black crime is the highest crime. Black people are the most ones to say something that is very racist. And I don't care if you black, you know this. You know this. You know that if something happened in a black household, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to speak on it because they're black. And already it's so hard and heavy for them. So if you talk about what they did wrong, no, that's not okay. Black people can never be depressed. Black people can never talk about sexual abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse that happens in the house. It's one thing to whoop your child. It's another thing to beat your child like a slave. And then you wonder why they act like one when they get older. Black household, and somebody said in the Mexican community too. Yeah, it's the Mexican community too. You can beat your child like a slave. You can treat your child like a slave and call it education. And then wonder why your child as a grown adult is still on the slave bandwagon. Now, if you walk away with it with some type of sense, if you walk away with it and want some type of education or sanity, then you're whitewashed. You know what I'm talking about, because somebody has had that life where you've had to walk away from everything that you know and start over. And then the second that you start over, you gain some type of peace or happiness, then you're the one with the problem. You're acting crazy. You're out of character. You're not like them. What happened to you? Because you're not continuing the chain. You always feel guilty for the rest of your life. Because you're like, maybe, yeah, everything that they said to me, I wasn't worth anything. I wouldn't amount to anything. I will never be anything. Everything is always going to be my fault. Everything is always going to be hell. You start to believe it because so many times it's been burned into you that's what they want you to believe. So you never do anything else besides that. At one point you start to dig into what they say, because then you're like, fuck it, if I can't beat them, join them. You know, there's those people who are like those generational curses that will not quit. I can't do anything about them. I can't break them. So therefore I'm just gonna jump on in the bandwagon, because that's the only way I'm accepted. That's the only way I'm loved. That's the only way I can sit at a family table. That's the only way that we can have a clear conversation without them attacking me. That's the only way that I'm not going to be the black sheep. That's the only way that people are going to love and accept me. Even if that's not the real me, they're going to love and accept me because that's who they want me to be.